Hello pretty people, I'm Izzy aka the Quirky Environmentalist and welcome to day 6 of Fashion Revolution Week. It is almost over. If you haven't watched any of my other Fashion Revolution Week videos and you're a bit confused about what's going on, then there will be a link in the description and at the end of the video for the full playlist of the week's events. Fashion Revolution Week happens every year and it is a week-long event to call for transparency and better working conditions, pay, basically change in the fashion industry. And today we're asking, what's in my clothes? Now, what's in my clothes is a relatively new addition to Fashion Revolution and Fashion Revolution Week specifically, but the idea is to look at the labels of your clothes and see what the labels do tell you about what's in there, but also ask companies about what the label doesn't tell you about what's in your clothes, because labels don't tell you very much about what's in your clothes most of the time. And so today I have some clothes that I'm looking at the labels on. Each of these are made from different fabrics, and we're gonna talk about what the labels do tell us about the clothes and what they don't tell us. I've got 3 shirts from my quite big shirt collection, and then I've got a piece from a sustainable brand to sort of compare and contrast with. If you want to get involved today, all you have to do is take a piece of clothing that you own, have a look at the label, see what it says, and ask the brand who made the clothes, what's in my clothes? Or question it yourself. You can print out things like this from Fashion Revolution's website, and information on how you can get involved will be in the link in my description. And I will also have a blog post with information about more fabrics than just the one I'm talking about in this video. The hashtag for today is what's in my clothes, and you can also tag me at MickeyCloud in posts so I can see them too. So let's get into it. First up, we're gonna go with this lovely shirt that I was wearing earlier in the week in the videos. I love this shirt. It doesn't say anything on the top label, but if we go down to here it says 100% viscose. Now viscose is plant-based fibre. What plant? Who knows? Viscose is made of lots of different types of plant depending on what it's made of. whoever made the viscose has decided that it's made of, and it may seem that it's quite good because it's a natural fibre, but that's not necessarily the case. First of all, because cellulose, which you get from plants to make into viscose, has to be treated before you make it into viscose. Secondly, because, well, it doesn't tell us anything else about the shirt. Sure, it's made of viscose, but you then had to dye it. It doesn't tell us anything. Yeah, it doesn't tell us anything about how the colours were made in this, in the dyeing process, what chemicals we used, what impact did that have on the environment, were those chemicals then dumped into local ecosystems when as a byproduct, you know, it doesn't tell us a lot of those things. And also microplastics and microfibres are big talk at the moment. Viscose accounts for a big portion of microfibres in the ocean. Now, at the moment, scientists don't actually know what impact microplastics and microfibres like viscose are having on us and the environment and those that ingest it, which includes us. We are ingesting microfibres on a daily basis. They don't know, but they probably think it's not good, and most of these studies are from 2015 and 2014, so the ratios may have changed slightly since these studies were made, but this just tells you the impact of viscose in the oceans. A study in 2015 found that 27.6% of microfauna had ingested viscose fibres. Another study in 2015 reported that viscose contributed to 56.9% of total microfibres in deep sea sediments. So more than half of deep sea sediment fibres were viscose, which this is made of. Twice as much as abundant polyester, which is the dominant plastic fibre. So this stuff, at least in 2015, was in the ocean at a higher rate than plastic was. Microfibres of viscose have been reported in fish, 57.8% of particles ingested, and in ice cores, 54%. Now the links to all of those studies will be in the description if you want to read them. And I think that just tells you, again, we don't know the impact that this is having on us and the ecosystems. We don't know whether viscose is better or worse than plastic, but that's the problem, we just don't know. And again, this label viscose tells us nothing about the plants that went into making this, how they were found, what impact that has on the environment, and who made the clothes, who farms the plants that are made into the viscose that this is made of. So that's just one example. A lot of unknowns in there. Next up we have this lovely shirt. Now this one is much softer, it feels less plasticky than that one, I would say, and it is made of rayon. Very similar to viscose in that it again is made of natural plant fibre, but again this label doesn't tell us anything about whether it was made from trees, whether it was made from other agricultural products, how it was made from those into this product, what was used to dye it. So yeah, this is made by a brand called Concept 2, apparently. I got this in a car boot sale for £3, and that's all it tells us, is that it's made of rayon. All this tells us is that it's made of some kind of plant fibre, and other than that, who knows what went into actually making this fabric. Next up we have this lovely purple shirt. Now this is 100% cotton. Now the difference with cotton is that we know what plant this came from. It's cotton, it came from cotton. Now you may think that that's better because I think people have more of an awareness of cotton rather than rayon. There's less mysteries, you know what plant it came from. However, cotton can be farmed in loads of different ways, some of which are more sustainable or more water hungry or whatever than others. Cotton is a notoriously water hungry crop. So I made a mistake here. The average cotton t-shirt takes about 2,700 litres of water to make, which is about 2.5 years of drinking water. But this shirt is really thick, so it probably took significantly more water than that. Again, I bought this second hand. It's made by a brand called Eddie Bauer. Said it was assembled in Costa Rica of USA material. So that tells us where it was made and also where the material was made in the US. But again, that doesn't really mean much. Nothing in this tells us about how that cotton was farmed, what impact that has on the environment. Again, this is dyed, we don't know what impact that has or what it was dyed with. It doesn't tell us who's farming this, whether they're living in modern day slavery, whether they're paid a fair wage, nothing apart from that it's made of cotton. Finally, on the shirt front, before we get into the sustainable brands, I have this shirt. This is by M&S. I got it given to me by my mum, like I think a year or two ago. I'm actually really surprised. It took me a while to find a shirt in my wardrobe that was made of plastic. This one's made of polyester, I believe. Yes, 100% polyester. I kind of just assumed that all of the shirts that I owned were made of some kind of plastic fibre, which shows you I didn't even know what was in my wardrobe. Now I do own quite a lot of items made of plastic fibres, so whether that's acrylic, nylon, polyester, but it's not the majority of my wardrobe, which I'm pleasantly surprised by, I'm not gonna lie. I do try not to buy any new polyester, like all the polyester, well this was new but I got given it as a gift. Yeah, I was surprised at how long it took me to find a shirt that was made of some kind of acrylic or polyester or nylon, plastic. So yes, this is made of polyester, which means that it's made of plastic. Now, we all, I think, have been taught to collectively hate plastic, and I understand why. Plastic pollution is everywhere, micro and macro, and like I said earlier when talking about the viscose, we don't know the effect that microplastics are having on the planet, on us, because we eat an average of, I think it's every week it's a credit card worth of plastic. Is made of plastic, and it feels very similar to my viscose shirt, so unless you check the label you just don't know. But again, this doesn't tell me very much. It says it was made in Bangladesh, which is where a lot of clothing is made. Bangladesh's main export is fashion. Other than that, it says wash similar colours together, it's 100% polyester, and then it just has the things in different languages on how to wash it. Again, this is dyed, doesn't tell us anything about that. No. And the only care instructions it tells us is to wash with similar colours and at a certain temperature and that sort of thing. It doesn't say wash in something like a guppy bag, which catches those plastic microfibres. We just don't know what impact that this sort of thing is having in the environment. I think you get the idea that the labels aren't really telling us much at all, other than whether it's made of plant fibre or plastic or something like silk. Obviously that's made of silk and wool's made of wool. You get the idea. Labels just tell us the material, they don't tell us anything else, and they don't tell us the environmental impact or the human impact that clothes have on us. Now, contrasting that, I have this bodysuit from 90%. I was gifted this, just to disclaimer, I was gifted this a while ago, but I'm not singing its praises for nothing. On the care instructions is made of Tencel, 5% elastine, which again is a form of plastic, but it's stretchy plastic. It's probably in the stitching, because it's only 5%, and 95% Tencel. Tencel is a form of plant fibre, like viscose or rayon or any of those things, but it's a trademarked form and it comes from trees. Tencel have a website, and if you go onto Tencel's website, they have a little thing on there talking about the environmental impact of Tencel. Because this is trademarked, anything that says Tencel is made by this one company. They're made of lyocell and modal fibres integrated in nature's cycle. I mean, that doesn't really mean very much to me, but they're certified bio-based fibres, again, doesn't mean much, but you can go on their website and look at the benefits of social responsibility, certification for sustainability. This is what we like to see, because you see something on the label, you can go and you can look up exactly what impact that's having on the environment. Also, Tencel is so soft. Like, this is one of the softest pieces of clothing I own. Also, when I first got this, I went onto the website just to have a look at the product details, and it had a full video about how the people who make these dye this, because it's like tie-dye, but it's a special form of tie-dye, and it had loads of information. Okay, that's not on the label, but if I went onto the website, I could find this information, which can't be said for most like run-of-the-mill fashion brands or fast fashion brands. It was telling me what it was made of, it was showing a video of exactly how this is dyed and who was dyeing it, and yes, this is what brands should be doing. The thing that's nice on here as well is it has a care label, which I didn't notice. I've owned this for probably a year and I didn't notice this a while ago. It says 90% of distributed profits are shared between charitable causes and the people who made the garment happen. Enter the attached code to vote here. So on their website I can enter the code. I think it's probably still valid, and I can vote for what portion of these profits, of the profits that the company made, where I want it to go. I have a list of charities and you can vote for which one you want your garments piece to go to. Now, I didn't actually pay for this, it was gifted, so I'm not sure quite how that works, but this tells me, first of all, it's made of Tencel. I can easily go on the Tencel website and read about their their sustainability. Second of all, it tells me where the profits of this garment are going. They're going to charity and they're going to the people who made the clothing, which suggests, although it isn't guaranteed, it suggests that people who made this are paid well. I can also go onto 90%'s website. It might not be there anymore because I'm not sure they still sell this, but it went through the process of how this was made and I could see it for myself. That's what brands need to be doing. Just remember that I do have another sustainable brand I can compare with. I have another gifted piece from Organic Basics. It is underwear. I was trying to find the bra but I can't. So this is a piece of underwear, but it says designed in Denmark, sustainably produced in Izmir, Turkey, 95% organic cotton, 5% elastine. So that tells us a lot more than those labels do. It tells us it's sustainably produced, which on a clothing label you kind of have to take the brand's word for it, but if you go on the brand's website there is information there about sustainable production. It says 95% organic cotton. Now again, the label organic doesn't necessarily always mean better for the environment. There's arguments that I've seen about, I'm not an expert on organic farming, but there's arguments I've seen about the fact that often organic farming takes more water per crop, you have a lower crop yield. There are pros and cons, and again, just like normal farming, there are loads of different ways that you can farm organically, so organic farming doesn't inherently mean good, but it's a better sign and 5% elastine, which is the, again, stitching in this. It doesn't tell us a whole lot more, that one, but it tells us more than the other brands tell us. It tells us that it's sustainably made. It doesn't tell us if it's ethically made, but I'm sure, again, you can go on the website and find out that. And I think that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed my little delve into clothing labels. Even in the sustainable brands, they still don't tell us that much about clothing, but they tell us a lot more than most, which is something. So I implore you to ask brands what's in your clothes. You know, from start to finish, what is in your clothes? Ask fast fashion brands, ask general fashion brands who aren't transparent. Put them under some pressure to tell you what's in their clothes and how their clothes are made, and also who's making their clothes, because it all comes together. You can print out signs like this from Fashion Revolution's website. You don't need that, you can just pose with the label of your clothing. What I forgot to mention was that the hashtag today is what's in my clothes, so if you want to share, go share on social media, ask brands what's in your clothes, and also tag me at MonkeyCloud so I can see your pictures. It was the second last day of Fashion Revolution today, so I will see you tomorrow for the last day of Fashion Revolution, where we will be asking what we want from the future of fashion and what a fashion revolution means for the fashion industry. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe for more. I will continue to do more sustainable living stuff, craft stuff on this channel after Fashion Revolution week is over. If it's after the 26th of April, or you haven't seen the earlier videos, then you can watch the whole thing. The playlist will be at the end of the video for you to watch. Thank you again, and I will see you tomorrow.